welcome everyone to the Environment Primer series of Drishti IAS. My name is Pragya and today we are going to discuss an unconventional but rather important topic. The title of our today's discussion is Cryptobiosis, and this process can be a game changer in the fight against climate change as well as in the field of space explorations, medical science, etc. In this discussion, we'll firstly study about what do we mean by this term cryptobiosis. Then we are also going to see what is permafrost. We are also going to see, can animals actually go into cryptobiosis? Then we are also going to analyze what is the difference between cryobiosis and cryptobiosis. Then we are also going to see, is hibernation a form of cryptobiosis? We are also going to analyze why a recent research is significant in this regard. And in the end, we are going to see a practice question for your prelims examination and a practice question for your mains examination. So if I talk about the background of our today's topic, scientists have recently remade alive microorganisms from the Serbia permafrost, and these microorganisms known as roundworms are believed to be 46,000 years of age. And this has been possible by following a process known as cryptobiosis. Okay, so after thawing them and after doing culture of them, so putting it in favorable environment, they have recently been made alive by the scientists, and this is a groundbreaking research. Okay, so this brings us to the moot question of our today's discussion, that what is the process of cryptobiosis? So if I talk about the process of cryptobiosis in very simple and layman term, it means that it is a capacity or the capability of some microorganisms to survive or to endure harsh climatic conditions by stopping the essential mechanisms in their body. Cryptobiosis is the condition of inactive metabolic activity during adverse environmental conditions. In this state, the organism can live for a longer period until the conditions are favorable again. So when we were talking about the background, we saw that since last 46,000 years, those ringworms had adopted the procedure of cryptobiosis, and they are again alive now, and that is why this process is also termed as near death. Near death. And this is adaptable by these microorganisms to survive harsh climatic conditions. Okay. Reproduction, development and repair stop due to the inactivation of the metabolic activities. So they almost stop all of the essential things in their body, and they perform cryptobiosis and go into a near death kind of thing. Now let us understand what is the permafrost. Okay. So if I talk about the permafrost, it is a permanently frozen region that remains below the temperature of 0 degree for 2 years straight. So permafrost regions are not always covered in snow. It is defined solely based on temperature and duration. The permanently frozen ground, consisting of soil, sand and rock held together by ice, is believed to have formed during the glacial period dating several millennia. So these permafrost regions exist from a period known as the Ice Age. Ice Age. Okay. And they occur below the earth's surface, and they can also occur below the land and the ocean surfaces. So this region remains completely frozen below 0 degrees Celsius for 2 years, okay, for more than 2 years. But right now what is happening due to climate change, the permafrost is thawing, and that is why new organisms are coming up, and definitely it is a cause of concern as of now. Moving forward, let us understand that can animals actually show cryptobiosis? Can animals actually go into cryptobiosis? The answer is yes. How are we saying this? Because this research has been published and it has been successfully carried out by the scientists by reviving the microorganisms known as roundworms in the Serbian permafrost. So yes, it is actually possible. Some animals that exhibit cryptobiosis are yeast, bacteria, tardigrades, brine, shrimp, etc. So tardigrades, also known as the water bears, are almost indestructible in nature. So a research has also been published that how tardigrades can actually form indestructible structure can actually exhibit cryptobiosis for almost around 30 years. So they can withhold extreme climatic conditions, and that is why these microorganisms are very important for space research as well. So humans do not exhibit cryptobiosis, although the scientists are trying to make humans also cryptobiosis in humans also possible, but as of now they do not by on their own exhibit the process of cryptobiosis. Tardigrades can remain in cryptobiosis with no food or water for years, for at least 30 years if frozen. So these microorganisms are shaping another era in the space research as well, in the medical biology as well. So these cryptobiosis process, the scientists are trying to replicate it in the humans as well. Moving forward, what is the difference between cryobiosis and cryptobiosis? So these are two different processes. In fact, cryobiosis is a sub-process of the cryptobiosis. So cryobiosis is a form of cryptobiosis that takes place in reaction to decreased temperature. It begins when the water surrounding the organism cells has been frozen, and stopping molecule mobility allows the organism to endure the freezing temperatures until more hospitable conditions return. So cryobiosis is completely different from cryptobiosis. It is a sub-form of cryptobiosis in which the cells around the organisms freeze and they go into deep hibernation or deep state of being inactive, and that is why they are able to tolerate the permafrost for so long years. So there is a difference between cryobiosis and cryptobiosis, and you can say that cryobiosis is a sub-form of cryptobiosis. Okay, I hope you understood it. Now let us move forward. Organisms capable of enduring these conditions typically features molecules that facilitate freezing of water in preferential locations while also prohibiting the growth of large ice crystals that could otherwise damage their cells. So they form small molecules to prevent the ice from freezing around their cells, and this process is known as cryobiosis. An excellent example of an animal that exhibits cryobiosis is lobster. Moving forward, let us understand, is hibernation a form of cryptobiosis? So hibernation is a state of deep sleep that happens during winters, and many of the microorganisms go into hibernation as soon as the winter starts. So it is a state of deep sleep, and if you'll ask me, ma'am, is it same as cryptobiosis? The answer is no. This is not the same. Cryptobiosis essentially means that you are completely stopping the cryptobiosis means that you're completely stopping the metabolic activities, and that is how you are able to survive the harsh conditions. But this does not happen in hibernation. In hibernation, metabolic activities decrease, they do not completely stop, and that is why hibernation differs from cryptobiosis. Moving forward, let us understand the significance of the research. So this research has been published in the PLOS Genetic Journal. Okay, and scientists are trying to figure out new ways to fight against climate change. They are trying to enhance the medical science. It is believed that yes, many of these microorganisms can provide a cure for unknown diseases, and they are also trying to make and they are also trying to replicate this process in the astronauts. So cryptobiosis emerges as hopeful amidst climate change challenges. How? Because these animals or these microorganisms are able to adapt themselves to the harsh conditions, and this is what is being tried to imitate in the humans as well. They are trying to imitate this cryptobiosis process in the humans as well, because humans have also unique capacity to endure, to go beyond their normal capacity, and cultural and religious researches show this, that yes, if the chemical processes in the human body is triggered, definitely they can achieve what is unachievable. They can also endure extreme heat, drought, and extreme cold. You might have heard that saints during the ancient ages used to do meditation in the Himalayas. So they also used to tolerate extreme heat, drought, and cold. So humans are also capable, and the scientists are trying to replicate these processes by triggering those chemical reactions in the human body. Then the scientists are investigating methods to utilize this mechanism, not only in the humans as well as in the space exploration as well. They are trying to imitate this method in the astronauts as well, so as to they can survive the extreme temperatures, extreme heat, or they can be helpful in the space research as well. It aims to safeguard crops, forests, and vital ecosystems from climate change impacts. And cryptobiosis holds potential as a natural defense against environmental adversity that we are going to face due to the climate change. So yes, indeed, it is very helpful in medical sciences. It has the cure for unknown diseases. It can be, helpful in fight against climate change as well, because we can replicate these processes, and thus the microorganisms as well as the crops, the agricultural crops can also endure extreme heat, cold, and drought-like conditions. And definitely it is very significant in the space research, because astronauts face extreme weather conditions in the space. So this is why it is researched. The scientists are focusing on the cryptobiosis processes. Okay. So with this we come to a conclusion of our today's discussion. We have seen what is cryptobiosis. We have also seen what is the permafrost region. We have also seen how is this process significant and why stress has been made on expanding the scope of this process, exploring the scope of this process. Okay. We have also seen that yes, it is very helpful in our fight against climate change, and it can be a game changer in space exploration as well. Now let us see a practice question for your prelims examination. So the question is, consider the following statements. Your statement number 1 is, cryptobiosis refers to a state where an organism's metabolic activity is suspended due to harsh environmental conditions. Your statement number 2 is, it takes place in both humans and microorganisms. Which of the following statements given above is are correct? Your options are, option A is 1 only, option B is 2 only, option C is both 1 and 2, and option D is none of the above. Kindly drop your answers in the comment box below. Now let us discuss a practice question for your mains examination. So the question is, how is cryptobiosis helpful in adaptation to climate change? Comment. So firstly, you will explain the process of cryptobiosis as I have discussed in my discussion today. Then you will write that how is this process significant in the fight against climate change, because this process can be imitated in the humans also. Humans definitely have that capacity, and the cultural and the ancient religious texts so show us that yes, humans have that capacity to endure extreme cold, heat, and other drought-like conditions. You can quote the example of saints doing meditation in the Himalayan region, as has been present there in our ancient texts. So they used to also do it, and the scientists are trying to imitate that process by triggering those specific chemical reactions in the humans. You can also say that yes, these microorganisms, especially the water bear, can tolerate adverse climatic conditions. So these can also be helpful in space research, and definitely they can also be helpful in medical science by finding a cure to unknown diseases. So yes, they are quite important in our fight against climate change, because organisms can be adapted to climate change by following this process, and definitely this process has an endless possibility, and the possibility needs to be explored. You can conclude very holistically. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you have any feedback regarding this session, kindly drop it in the comment box below. If you liked today's discussion and found it to be helpful, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such updates. Thank you.